Hey everyone, Eric here from the EVH and Gear TV network and of course Walking Dead. Back to you today with another video on The Walking Dead, and today's topic is the possibility of a prequel to The Walking Dead and having Andrew Lincoln's blessing on recasting the role of Rick Grimes. So another story came about from comicbook.com, and I'll post the link in the description down below, but the article states The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln on recasting Rick Grimes for a prequel. Now, before we get into everyone getting all bent out of shape about there can never be another person who plays Rick Grimes, that is probably true in Rick Grimes' current state, right? But unless we do makeup and make Andrew Lincoln look very, very young, which is possible, very possible, but Andrew Lincoln has already committed to doing 3 standalone movies for AMC, showing what happened to Rick after the bridge incident when he exited the show. So he's not signed up for anything that is a prequel. And also, this has been done a million times in other movies. A lot of you that watch Walking Dead are also Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans have seen the same thing with recasting the young Han Solo, the young Lando, the young Anakin / Darth Vader. All those things, they've been done before, so they can be done. Okay, so the article is entitled The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln on recasting Rick Grimes for prequel. The Walking Dead star Andrew Lincoln doesn't have a problem with AMC recasting his Rick Grimes role with a younger star if they decide to do a dramatic prequel route. The show started with Rick in a pre-apocalyptic world alongside his police partner, Shane Walsh. Quickly, he was injured and in a coma before he woke up to find the world had fallen. The early days were driven by Rick's desire to protect his wife Lori and son Carl, but ahead of their family reunion, Shane and Lori had developed a relationship of their own. With a trio of movies on the horizon, Lincoln has no problem with the network recasting his character for more stories with Rick, Lori, Shane, and others prior to the apocalypse. Why not? I think the possibilities are endless, Lincoln told The Hollywood Reporter. It's an extraordinary environment and landscape, the mythology that Robert Kirkman has created, and I love that. I want to see that with Negan. That's a backstory that I want to see on the mothership. I'm fascinated by it. I'm going to pause here for a second, and that's something that I mentioned in one of my other videos as well, too. The fact that I would love to see the Negan backstory. I think would be absolutely fantastic. And something else I talked about, which we'll get to here in a second, as I'll continue with Andrew Lincoln's thoughts and story on this. He says, but this franchise can pull people backwards and forwards. I would love to see Michael Rooker, who played Merle, back on the screen in a miniseries. So there again, I mentioned that as well. I'd love to see some backstory on Merle and Daryl. I think we got a tiny bit of that in The Walking Dead. I think it was called The Survival Instinct. I have the game on PS3, PlayStation 3, a fantastic game. You got to know a little bit about the dad and things like that. And the dad passed away in the game, got eaten by walkers. It was very, very difficult. But I would love to see that story, you know, kind of Daryl being a little brother to Merle. And I mean, can you imagine being a brother of Merle, period? I'd love to see that relationship. I talked about that in some videos. So he says, I'd love to see Merle, Michael Rooker, who played Merle, back on the screen in a miniseries. With those kind of shows, we are afforded the opportunity to bounce around narratively and be able to play with time. Lincoln did get an opportunity to work with Shane actor John Bernthal one last time, as we all saw in his final episode of The Walking Dead, which aired earlier in November. It was a bit of a fever dream, Lincoln explained, to have Bernthal show up with his Punisher hair straight from the set, both like so much time had passed and that no time had lapsed. We fell back into the same relationship. It was amazing to work with him. Sonequa Martin Green, and one of my favorite people, Scott Wilson. To have the privilege of working with him yet again was magnificent. There were 3 times this season that I came home and it just felt like this is why I became an actor. It reminded me of the early seasons and how much fun and how satisfying the whole journey has been. So there you go. I want to ask you a few questions. A very short video today. I'm finally back on my feet after feeling horrible for a week and a half, and a lot of you have sent some very positive messages my way to get better, and I appreciate that. And I'm back on board slowly but surely. So first of all, several things I'm going to ask you to comment on down below. What are your thoughts on recasting Rick Grimes with a younger actor? Now again, like I said earlier, keep in mind we see this all the time in other franchises such as Star Wars, young Solo, young Obi-Wan, young Darth Vader or / Anakin, young Lando, and so on. Who would you pick to be the ideal actor to portray Rick? Who would you pick to portray Lori and Shane? Also keep in mind, Andrew Lincoln is giving his blessing on this. Comment below and share your thoughts on my questions to you here. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear where this goes. And I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up. And don't forget, every Sunday night, unless I note otherwise, we'll be doing pre-show live streams. We start from 7 p.m. Eastern Time until 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which gives a lot of you in the Eastern Time Zone enough time to watch the stream and be prepared to watch the evening show. We've only got 2 episodes left of the first half of season 9, and then we have that long dreaded wait. I think we have one of the best seasons ever. We've also got some really cool things happening on the show coming up very, very soon. Some guest appearances coming this Monday night, November 19th. We've got Vincent M. Ward, who played Oscar, a lot of the fan favorites back at the prison, and someone that showed no sign of begging for his life and became well respected by Rick. So Oscar's going to be on the show on Walking Dead Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So more guests continuing to come on board and share their thoughts and stories and insight from being on set and being vital characters on the show. We look forward to having you tune in for those as well too. Thank you so much for everything, and until next time, cheers.